So you hear it, folks.
So
You hear it, folks. Before you go pay, I don't know how much money.
Thousands.
Yeah,
tens of thousands,
hundreds of thousands.
in
Yeah,
cases.
in your
Student debt.
Yeah, for what? For a gender studies degree.
Yeah.
It's a fucking really trap, man. Like those courses, those majors, like.
Yeah, I mean, mine was kind of similar to that. It was an English degree, so I did a lot of rhetoric on very postmodern lefty ideas.
Ooh. Such as any author in particular that you enjoyed?
Liked or disliked?
Both. Which one did you enjoy the most, and which one did you loathe, abhor?
I like anything that was very psychoanalytical. So I enjoyed Dostoevsky and Nietzsche quite a bit.
Nice.
For different reasons, but I enjoyed both.
Übermensch.
Did not really like the Derridas, the Foucaults. Did not really like them very much.
I feel you.
A bit too
French.
French. The French Derrida.
Bro, Derrida is fucking. I don't know, man.
Yeah. So like for those people, I didn't really enjoy so much, the deconstructionists.
Right. Oh man.
But I really did like reading Dostoevsky and Nietzsche. Nietzsche especially is like, fuck, man, his stuff is like insane. Like just like the concepts that he discusses are just like,
yeah,
they're not. It's not bar talk. I'll tell you that.
Right. Yeah. He's writing. I don't know, man. It sounds. He reads angry. He reads like somebody who is
has been wronged
and feels he feels kind of I don't
isolated.
Yeah, I don't think disgusted is the word for it, but it's just
like fed up,
a little unnerved about his surroundings and about the people surrounding him. It's like, fuck you guys. Like,
I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I think with Nietzsche is that he was just so ridiculously intelligent that he was on like a dimension that people just were not on. Like because the thing is, like, I think according to records, he's like the second or third projected IQ in like all of history. If I remember correctly. So he's like super fucking smart.
All right.
So the thing is, like, with that kind of like whenever that happens, it's like you're isolated on the basis of just IQ. It's just pure like intelligence. So the thing is, like, I think for people like that, they get a lot more like antsy. It's like, no one understands me because you're too fucking smart. And then like you end up isolating yourself, and he drove himself crazy because he was in his own world, because I think his own world where he's playing with his own head is a lot more comfortable for him, or like makes a lot more sense to him than the world where he has to like dumb it down for all the mortals.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, most geniuses are like that, like fucking
crazy, like Einstein's and stuff.
Just it's a craziness out of being incomprehended by his peers, So, so like, yeah, I feel you.
And he's not like a Neil deGrasse Tyson where he could like just make. He can make smart sexy.
Yeah,
like,
he cannot relate to us. He cannot relate to us mere
on like a human level,
right? Yeah, he's right up there on the clouds of his own thinking and his own concepts.
Yeah, that's pretty much, that's exactly right. It's just yeah, man, good. Like the and that's the Nietzsche complex, I think. And it's and hearing him talk about stuff is like, it's really. I found it interesting because it's like they're concepts that one, like, you cannot talk about today, because he was basically talking about how do I put it, like creating your own morality. So the thing is, like, it's, and that's a very complicated conversation to have, because it's like like the whole medieval idea of like a monarch is absolute and his decisions are all correct, right? Like God's anointed.
Right, the divine right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, that's basically what Nietzsche was. In a lot of ways, it's kind of like what Nietzsche was talking about, was like, is that you can create your own morality insofar as you can justify it. Which you can just, but the thing is, the question is like, well, is there a justification for breaching a universal sense of morality that we have, especially in the Judeo-Christian world? And his argument for that, I think, was that religion is dead, God is dead. Our concept of what we thought God was is shattered. And what's left for us is to become gods and create gods for ourselves, because we need something to strive towards, like an example to strive towards. And I don't know, I think that is such an intriguing, like, it's a scary idea, because I think that idea in the wrong hands would be devastating.
Of forging a new moral code.
Yeah, and it's an individual moral code too. Like, for example, like the Unabomber, I think like his idea was like he wanted to reset humanity, or like create chaos and then give humans like a reason to live or something like that. Like his own morality was like, I'm going to do something so terrible in order to justify something so great. It's like a end justifies the means based on my own code of morality. And I think that's insane. Like that's really insane. And it's like, who gave you the right to do that? Nobody. Like, you gave yourself the right to do that. And what is it checked by? Nothing, because you're your own individual mind. And,
right.
You should really seek. You don't have to base your ideas completely based on other people, but you really should seek other opinions from other people and kind of compare and see if you could be wrong, right? You should really see if you could be wrong. I think that's one thing that that you need to do, and I think that people that have too much of an ego to do that, but with the idea of creating your own morality, is dangerous.
Right. Yeah, but I don't know, man. With Nietzsche, the whole thing about will to power, can you be proved wrong? I mean, at the end of the day, it's you establish your moral code to yourself, and you're not chained by any by other people's moral codes that they establish themselves.
It's collective though. It's a collective code though, because the thing is, whatever you're brought up in is essentially like there's a rough set of moral codes, I think, that are instated, and like a rough set of moral codes that are just based on biological instinct. Like, you probably don't want to kill someone else most of the time, right? And that's just like instinctual. So I think that there's like kind of a genetic like baseline moral code, and then like a societal taught moral code.
To an extent, yeah, I agree. There's things that, like going back to like natural law and natural ethics. It just doesn't make sense at all. But I feel like a lot of people look at Nietzsche and what he wrote, and they're like, well.
Keep talking, by the way.
Well,
I'll be away from the mic for a second, so like keep talking.
Okay.
I can still hear you.
Okay, yeah. I feel like they look at Nietzsche and they're like, oh, here's a guy that says that I can do anything that I want. Basically, I don't have to bow down to anybody's idea of what's right or wrong, and I can exert my own idea of what's right and wrong, insofar as I'm actually able to act upon that individual personal moral code. So yeah, I agree with you in the sense that it's a terrible thing in the wrong hands, in the in the hands of somebody who has no regard for humanity, for the good things in this world, for who has no concept of the collective, what's the collective consensus of morals and ethics. But I guess that's definitely a tough topic, man, to address out of the blue, or to sit down and actually talk about with other people's, like, because you always run into things, and you always run into a wall, like something that you're gonna have divergent opinions about. It's like, is abortion okay? Is euthanasia okay? Is I don't know, death penalty okay? Like, is it does the end justifies the means? Is the medium, is the message the medium of it all? And it's so convoluted and complex that
definitely,
for more impetuous minds or more arrogant minds, it's not even a discussion worth having.
I'll say isolated as well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like physically and also mentally isolated, people are just...
Ignorance is bliss, and bliss is comfortable for a lot of people. They don't wanna give that up. So yeah, definitely.
It depends. It depends on when to. Ignorance is bliss, but ignorance... Yeah, so...
Right, yeah.
I mean, think that, like, for school shooters, for example, right? Like,
it's bliss for the people who are ignorant,
Well, let me finish that one real quick so that makes sense, though. The school shooters one. I'll disclaim that one. I don't think that school shooters... I think they generally know what they're doing, but they choose to act wrong anyways in order to get back at the people that have wronged them. So yeah, I wanted to make that real quick because I can't just like throw out school shooters and not explain why I threw it out. But I don't think that they created their own morality. I think they're just I think that they do know that it's wrong, but they do it anyways. Whereas I think a lot of people that like that whole create your own morality thing, like if you do not really understand what is right and wrong, or why you should be constrained by what is considered to be right or wrong, then I think that there is a serious problem there for you as a person.
Right. Yeah. In the case of the school shooters, I mean, they're not doing anything that's original or innovative. It's just an eye for an eye, but super overblown to a very damaging scale. And fuck. Again, what?
Yeah, it's not even like an eye for an eye. It's like an eye for a torso.
For the whole thing. Jesus.
Yeah, it's like an eye for like a torso. Sorry, like a body for a life for an eye kind of thing.
Several lies, because they just go in and ratata. Fucking
ratatouille.
But yeah, man. Well, if anything, you got some good reading out of that degree. I mean, fucking Nietzsche.
Is, like the thing is, like, it's not like that's a bad degree to have, because the thing is, like,
no,
like, I took my degree, right? And like, I want to say this because my school, my advisor at school was really, really great. So I don't want to, like, disencourage the program, but
okay,
you know, like, it would have been good for me if I wanted to actually go and travel to a different country. And you know, and the thing is like, if I wanted to teach English in a different country, it would be good for that. Or if I want to teach English here, like, yeah, it would have been good for that. But, you know, like, I chose that. I chose to do that because I wanted to go and travel to other countries, because I didn't have an idea of really what I wanted to do. So I was like, well, what's something that I could do? And it's like, well, I could teach languages, but that's like a skill set that I could have gotten, like, outside of school, you know?
Right.
Like, I could have been an English teacher with a business degree.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could have gone to Argentina and taught English over there if I wanted to, you know?
Right.
So it's like, you know, I picked poorly when it came to what I wanted to do, and that's because I wasn't absolutely sure, I think, with the program that I wanted to do, you know? Now, quite obviously, like, if I'm better at writing because of this, then I'll use that to my benefit. And, you know, like, whenever I get the chance to write something elaborate and a bit more clear and concise, I will. I'll take that opportunity, because that's something that's afforded to me because of my past decisions. But I think that if I learn how to create business plans and do, like, financial math, and, you know, like, learn how, like, took maybe even like a couple of accounting courses or something, I think that would have been quite a bit more helpful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, again, like, the English degree is just as valued as the business degree, but unfortunately, the world is what it is, and business is on higher demand. You know that, like. But yeah, man, like, I think that's also an important attitude to have, because I feel like
is what
the attitude of, you know, the degree does not define where I can go from here, you know?
Well, absolutely. That's another thing, is that I sounded kind of pessimistic with that, huh?
I mean, it's just, I feel like it's like me too. Like, you know, I haven't done any gaming and animation stuff since I left the degree. You know, since I got the degree, you know, I've been doing other stuff on.
Now, let me ask you this: would you have done a different program if you went back in the past? Or would you have, like, actually, let me ask the same question: would you have gone to college, and if so, what major would you have chosen?
I think I would have gone to college. Yeah. Although, yeah, like, I don't know. Like, the thing is, I don't know. Honestly, if I had gone and done exactly the same thing, but I don't know what I would do otherwise. Does that make sense? Like,
Gotcha. You wouldn't have done, like, design or something?
I don't know.
Like graphic design?
I don't know, because it's tricky, man. Because like, you know, for my whole student career, I was a very versatile person as a student. you know?
Yeah, you are good at like pretty much everything.
Yeah, and like that makes the choice a little difficult. I'm not gonna lie.
I so feel that. Yeah, I totally feel that. Like you're flexible, you can do anything. Like, because the thing is, like, what you can do anything from fucking making music, picking music, which is like what you were known for at college. Was like you were the DJ.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
You could do that. You could talk about interesting ideas. You can play soccer, and you picked up cooking real quick.
Yes.
You did what? Like you also did cabaret. Remember, like at school, like you did. You did a theatrical performance. You beat out all the fucking people that were in the music department, which is bonkers. It's fucking bonkers shit. And then you can design. You can
see,
and then you also picked up the gaming animation, 3D modeling, like the 3D design and level design and shit like that.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, you're absolutely just like fucking like all over the place. Like you can do like anything. Like you really can do anything.
Oh man, my head is so big right now. You don't believe it, but yeah, man. Like the choice is hard, and I'm guessing that if I had just gone like to something that I really like to do, I would have gone to I would have done history. Okay? History.
Okay.
Cuz from a very early age, I loved history. Like stories of events that happened, I was really good at memorizing this stuff, the events, the places, the years, the names of the people, the factions, etc. And I loved all that. I still do. But I knew like, well, what am I gonna do with the history degree? It's like, because again, it's one of those that really carry very little meaning outside of the respective areas. If I were gonna do history, I would either teach history or I don't know, like
go to more school.
Go to more school, but towards what? Writing about more history.
I think being a curator, or like being a historian, those are definitely things you could do. You could also start a history YouTube channel, but odds of success or there's
and at the same time, I like history as a hobby. I don't know if I would like it as a job, a way of life.
I get that. I watch history videos for fun all the fucking time too. Like I'm on YouTube and I'm like, oh, interesting. I never knew that about Joan of Arc.
Right. Yeah.
I like shit like that. I really do. I enjoy that as well. I probably would not have picked history as a career.
Right.
No, poli-sci was what I was in first. Like I learned poli-sci. Like I think that was my first degree choice whenever I came to OC. But I ended up not even taking any major courses and switching to like a it's either education or TEFL. I can't remember which one it was.
Okay. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I probably did more political courses, political science courses than you did. But
probably, yeah.
Because I went out of my way to do another course. So fucking. But it was fun, man. Like, and it was really interesting. But again, like the utility of it, unless you are going for politics or political law.
Well, actually, that one I think that one's a little bit more understandable because I think you should be a well-informed citizen.
Right. So, it's just like, are you going to use credit hours for that when you can?
As long as it's not your major, I think it's fine. I think even if it's your minor, having a politics degree is like a poli-sci degree is actually good. I mean, I would say that, but I could see why that would not be the case. Like there is an opportunity cost as
right.
as
Yeah.
well.
Again, ideally, in an ideal situation, it would be fine and absolutely understandable. But
Right.
yeah, it's tricky, man. It's tricky. You kind of land on college having to know on college, having already to know like what you going to do, what this is going to be all about. And I mean, or at least you feel that pressure, to like have it sorted out before you even walk into campus.
Which by the way, I do think that you should figure it out.
I mean,
but it's also, you have to figure it out because of the format of it. Which is like another thing that you need to say too, is like,
right.
is like the format of college, the streamlined path, that the excellence in one thing, that is really that format really is what makes it like a
true
that makes it so like you have to have it figured out before you go to college.
Right. I agree. It's just and like I didn't even know when I got to the US that you could go as an undecided. I was like, what? Undecided? What the fuck?
Yeah.
How? Is that a course?
Undecided.
Is that a major? Undecided? Like, how do you feel? When do you get to figure out? They give you like a period of time. It's like make a choice.
You know who I really feel for? Those people that got Bible degrees at college. I'm sorry. I really feel for those people.
I mean, if you're going for it, OC is the place. Not gonna lie.
I'll tell you what. Jesus didn't work in a church. He worked as a carpenter. He should have done the trade,
right,
bucko.
Right. Yeah, it's like if you really want to follow him in all his footsteps, you gotta go to work that timber. You gotta go to work.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
it's a little bit. It's kind of an unfortunate thing, I think, where getting a Bible degree is kind of like the ultimate indulgence. It's like the indulgence DLC.
Oh my god!
Like, you're definitely going to heaven if you have a Bible degree.
Oh man, that's it, man. Fuck.
Yeah. Like, you're definitely going to heaven if you have like a Bible degree. But dude, there was a certain, what was it? Oh yeah, so the program. Actually, I don't mind putting OC on blast for this one, but on OC campus there was the Ethos program, right, where you have to go to a certain amount of biblical or Christian events on campus or off campus that are approved by the school. You had to go to 65 by default per semester, right? Remember
right.
that?
Oh yes. The moment you said the word ethos, I was like, whew. Flashbacks, man.
Yeah. And it was just like, and it's like a mandatory. Well, you can, but the thing is mandatory. But the thing is like, mandatory or what, right? And so,
right.
It was a program that happened at that was at OC, and lo and behold, you got a lot of people that didn't get their kudos or the points for the ethos system, right? They didn't get their kudos. So for those people, what are you going to do when they graduate? Are you going to keep a degree from them just because they don't have the number of kudos necessary in order to graduate? So like, because you didn't go to that's the question, right? And I think that OC wasn't really able to enforce that, because what are you going to do? Like, have people like not give them a degree for having paid like $80,000 whatever over your 4 years?
Yeah.
So the thing is, they can't do that, right?
I don't know.
So you know what they started doing?
What?
They started charging fines for every kudo that you didn't get.
I remember that.
Up to like a certain degree.
Oh, that was bullshit, man. Fuck. Dude.
Yeah, and then I was like, wow. So you're telling me that I could go to no services at OC, like I can go to no services whatsoever, or like any and get no kudos, pay a sum of money, and be exempt from having to get kudos.
I guess.
Right?
Like,
I'm like, that is an actual indulgence.
If you got rich daddy paying the slight.
Right. But dude, do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's an actual indulgence.
I see. I
that
can
is a
definitely
fucking
see the
indulgence.
comparison. Yeah. It's
like you are paying your way into morality. It's like, well, I didn't get all the ethos, but I paid for it. It's like, so OC approved, Like that's fucked up. It's like you are taking money from people based on faith, which I think is the stupidest thing. That's dumb. It's like I criticize that as much as I would criticize like the DNC and a lot of like
right.
Like the left, like stuff that we were talking about, like SJW types and things like that. I criticize that just as much because that's like an opposite end of extreme for me. It's like religious insanity. That's dumb. That is
a little hypocritical even, and like
it's archaic. It's archaic. It's like it's not conservative, right? It's not even conservative. It's regressive.
Okay.
It's regressive. It's like you are going back to a time that was not as good as the one that we're currently in, and you're trying to go back. There's they talk about like the regressive left, which is like
right.
They want to like deconstruct and break down a lot of things. Like, dude, no, like a lot of these people would rather like level 5 of the game is too hard, so they just want to go to level 4.
Yeah,
that's kind of the mindset that I have, and I don't agree with that either. Like, I definitely don't want to reset the game and start from level 1, but I don't want to go back to level 4 either. That just seems kind of stupid.
Right.
So
right.
I'd rather make the proper advancements, but be careful about them, and like make advancements, but make advancements in things that matter. Which I think is like a good middle moderate ground, in which I stand, by the way. Is like that's why we should change, but we should make we should be careful about what changes we
for
make.
Sure. And it's funny,
which I think is the best.
Yeah. And it's funny, like in regards to this particular situation of the ethos thing. I think you came the year after me. 2014, 2015, yeah. And I think you always had the kudos thing, right? Because
like for you guys it was different. You had mandatory service, huh?
Yeah, the first year my freshman year we had the mandatory chapel, and I think you had like maybe. You had a few unexcused absences, that with the excuse being, a death in the family or something really, really serious. That
a death in the family to get out of church.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, my grandma's gonna die like 5 times.
But the thing is,
sorry, Grandma.
If you were if you missed too many times, the punishment wasn't money, wasn't it was community service. You were going to do community service, and it's like, okay, at least you're doing something helpful to the community, like at least it's going back to somebody who actually could use that service. Hell.
Yeah, I think it does kind of inflate
on
a
moral plane, or like it might make more sense to skip chapel and go help people in community service.
Well, from a moral perspective, yeah, but the thing is, from a financial perspective, the reason why OC sells is because your kid is being forced to go to church.
Yeah, and I mean, most of the people there are Church of Christ, or they're or Christians to some extent.
Yeah.
So
either that or resentful. it's one or the other. Right?
Yeah.
It's like a Church of Christ, like a jaded other Christian, or just jaded in general.
Yeah, but like those types, those resentful types, they usually, if
that was me for like 2 years.
Well, if they
so resentful.
If they can, they won't stick around. They'll go to fucking, I don't know, OCU or which is like
was it UCO or or like one of the other colleges,
which it's just down the block basically.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's a better university right over there that's cheaper.
Yeah, too. Like 3 blocks away.
I was looking at doing an MBA. I was thinking about doing an MBA over there whenever I was still living in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm glad you stick around with us, man. It would be a lot less fun without you. I tell you that. By less fun, I mean miserable.
Oh, like MBA, like I appreciate that. But
okay.
I was talking about
afterwards.
MBA,
okay.
Not after college, yeah.
Well,
fuck, dude, I wanted to transfer to like a different university in like a different state. Like my first year, I was like, Dad, I want to switch, and he's like, okay, we'll come up with a plan. And then like my lazy ass never did it. So I think like for the first couple years, I was like, Dad, you didn't let me transfer. And then he was like, well, you didn't come up with a plan. And I was like, and then later on, I was like, yeah, I should have probably just come up with a plan. And I was like lazy, and I didn't do that. No conviction. Because actually, that's an interesting thing, by the way, is like I wasn't really motivated to do much else besides play soccer whenever I first came to the US.
And play soccer we did, man. Play soccer we did.
Yeah, we did. We played a lot of fucking football, my friend. Like a lot of fucking football. As much as Trump plays golf. Actually, more than that. Even more than that. Holy fuck, dude! I remember I used to play like freshman year. I played 6 days a week.
Yeah, that's insane.
Fucking,
that's insane.
Yeah, like 6 days a week, like it's fucking every day. And then like I would go to the gym too, so I'd go to the gym and play soccer. And whenever I played soccer, like I'd play by myself and do sprints as well. So I'd be like working out quite a bit. Yeah, that's how I got fucking fast.
You should see these guys' fucking legs, man. They're like the masts of a ship. Just these trunks.
Cakes.
Yeah,
I got soccer legs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like that's what I did. But I wasn't really motivated for much else besides that. But I think actually that's a good question to go. That's a good route to go down. Is like during college, I realized was it like the last year of college I was dating a girl in South America in a different country, right? Uh-huh. And you remember her.
Yeah.
And I was so close to moving to Argentina and then having her move in with me or like move close to me. And dude, that would have been like, if I did that, like if I made that move, I probably would have gotten married. I probably like legit probably would have gotten married.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that early on before I decided to go through with the whole Argentina thing. And I came to the realization that, shit, I don't want to move somewhere else and teach English.
Right.
Fuck, I don't want to do that. I'm like,
right.
I want to stay. And after that, like I had to have that hard conversation. And
right.
That's why she's my ex now. Right. But
yeah.
But and then like I figured my way out from there is like I just went to the Apple Store and worked there for a little bit. Nice people, but like the job was just kind of repetitive and boring, and I was like, I need an adventure.
Ooh.
And good pay, really great pay, by the way. It was like $15 an hour in Oklahoma City is like $30 an hour here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like great benefits and like discounts from the Apple Store for Apple products and things like that too. So, and promotions incrementally paid quite a bit as well. Like if you get promoted twice and you be making like $21 an hour in Oklahoma, which is like
it's superb.
$42 an hour. That's really great. Yeah. That's really great pay.
Yeah.
You know, so the thing is like financially I was set. But I don't know, man. Financially, like I could have stayed there and made great money, but I was like, I need some adventure. So
yeah, I mean,
I moved out over here.
Yeah, that's not an easy move, man. A lot of people would rather stick with the stability of it all, you know.
Yep. And I'll tell you what, man. Like, and I think that a lot of people would, and I don't blame anyone for that. I think staying in a stable job or like staying in like favoring stability over dynamicism, is that the word? Or like dynamicness.
Dynamism
is dynamism. That's the word, yeah. But that's important, and I think that like there's just different types of people. And I think that people that would tend to stay in a job consistently, you know, and keep producing the same thing over and over, that's inherently very useful. And you know, in a lot of ways, I admire that too. It's like I don't have that like. That's not. I'm not very good at doing that. Where I'm just like doing repetitive tasks all the time.
Right.
So I don't know, dude. Like I think that moving to California and just doing this whole life thing by myself, what it's done is it's given me a perspective of what I want to do. Like I'm like, okay, well, this is what I want to do, and I really do understand that a lot better after seeing what's available and kind of like finding out what my priorities are. You know, like there's like food. Okay, it's like, okay, well, food. Yeah, I can get that now. Shelter. Shit, I've been moving around Airbnbs forever. Should probably look for an apartment. And, you know, like figuring out like one thing one by one. And it's like, well, what do I really need? And it's like, well, Tyler, it's like in California, you don't have friends. Okay, cool. Let's go meet some friends. Made some friends. And then I'm like, okay, well, what else could you use? Well, you could use a job that that gives you upward mobility. And it's like, okay, great. I think that's good. And it's working towards a bigger goal that I have, which I won't talk about, like a couple of different goals, like sub goals and main goals. But working towards that, it's like I'm finding what the best path is for that. And that's why I went into sales, is I think just sales makes sense for what I want to do in the future. It won't be necessarily in sales, but the sales ability is going to be useful. So
right.
I think that journey of moving somewhere else and figuring out like, okay, well, these are your priorities, and these are things that you want to accomplish. These are things that you want to do. And those are things that you need to pursue in order to get there. And then you start getting those and getting those, getting them incorporated into your life and like drawing a bigger life plan out of that. And I think that if you don't have a great idea of what you want to do at this very moment and what you should be pursuing, and you're not super motivated, throw yourself into some cold water.
Cold showers.
I'd say
cold showers, baby.
Yeah, and that was like metaphoric and like also direct as well. Like, jump into the deep end of the pool. Do it. Come on, you won't. Just do it.
Right. What you gotta lose?
Just Nike it.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that be sensible with it, right? Like, save money and then go move to California or to Washington or to Portland. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone wants to go to California or the Pacific Northwest. Do it. Like, save money. Like, save a couple $1,000s. Save maybe like a good $6,000 or something if you can. If you can save $6,000, right? And then if you have a friend in the city, like even better, like see if you can stay at their place. If not, get an Airbnb for a week, and then like look for a job there. Get like work at like a pizza shop or some shit. And then like look how you can like go from the pizza job to like a better job, and like keep just like like just figure shit out as you go. Like it's like there's a lot of value to that, because then you start to realize shit about yourself. And if it doesn't work out, go back to where you came from. Like you're allowed to go. Like if living in Portland serving pizzas didn't work, well, at least you have an idea of what like the alternative. Like this is what life could be like. So maybe now like you feel like you do want to go to college.
Yeah, that you have a
right, like
that you have a strong idea of what you're going to do in college and where that could possibly lead,
or at least what you don't want.
Right.
At least what you don't want.
Right. Fair enough.
And like at least what you don't want. If not, like you'll figure out what you want to do. Like if you figure out your priorities, great. If you figure out things that you just dislike, also great.
Yeah, it's not a loss.
Yeah. The gap year I think is a great thing. Like I'd advocate anybody that does not know exactly what they want to do as a major in college and have been decided on that for a while. If you don't know that, have the humility to go and do a gap year away from your parents. Try that. Like have a gap year away from your parents. Like go like it could be in the same city, just find a job and then live in a different apartment and then figure shit out for yourself for a little while. Try that. I think that would be inherently helpful. It's like where you start to see like, oh shit, like I'm not able to make that much money, and it's like, oh, well, this is really important. Like I can't make much money because I don't have a college degree, And then you're like, okay, well, I really need a college degree, and like you get that sense of urgency, and like you have a why to go to school now, which is better than a lot of people. Like a lot of people don't have that why. Right. It's like, why am I at college? Oh, my parents told me to, which is me, by the way. Like I just went because my parents thought it was the best thing to do.
Yeah, I think a lot of us do. It's just ingrained to us, that after high school, boom, college, and it doesn't have to be that way. I think that's something.
No, it doesn't. And I'm thankful that by the way, one disclaimer, my dad actually helped me out with my college. Like he paid for that. So big kudos to him, right? Same. Big kudos to him. Man, the thing is, like, he gave me indebted. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Same. Me too, dude. So the thing is, like, I'm super thankful that I got the experience. But I'm especially talking from the perspective of somebody that's like taking out loans to go to college, and like, because the thing is, like, I see my friends being crushed in college debt. It's just like they're working as like servers at a restaurant, but they're trying to pay off like $70,000 in student debt. I'm like, dude, like, come on, you got a business degree, like go come on, like go work at a business function, like, and it's like and I think that the college system is right now in this country is a fucking problem. And it makes a lot of money for the US because international students will pay high prices. I think that's another reason why the degree is like so degrees are so expensive, is because international students are willing to pay a lot of money in order to come here.
Many are, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you should come to California. Like in Oklahoma it's different, but like in California, so many international students, lots of international students. So, and even OC, man, like 1/5 of the people that went to OC were from an international destination. 1/5.
Yeah, I mean, they really worked the certain countries really well. They had the Rwandans, which were massive
very diligent people, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. Those guys are fucking pros.
Yep. Like they have a very they have like a I think with the Rwanda, it's like they have like a let's make Rwanda
great.
Great again. I didn't really want to say that. Like let's make Rwanda a fantastic democracy. I think that's like there's like a pretty ingrained idea for a lot of the Rwandese, and they have like a sense of purpose. Like let's fix our place.
Right.
Let's make it really great, and let's make it like the model for all other African countries. I think like because they have that like sense of purpose, like a lot of them work really, 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 really hard, and a lot of them like like the ones that we were with. I mean, obviously they're going to be from a bit of a more well-off background.
Some, but not all, but yeah,
they were not all, but yeah, but fucking lots of smart people. That's what I remember is that like the people that did come from Rwanda, most of them were like super super smart because they're from like they've been to school.
Yeah, they were among the best in the whole nation. So yeah, it's not like I don't know. Like we had other big international presences there that you were like, these guys are just here for the sights. You know.
Oh, fucking, I'll put him on blast. Remember Jimmy?
Jimmy. Oh man.
Fucking yeah, I'll put him on blast.
Why
he's funny. He's so funny. Like he's just some random Indian kid that just went to school to I don't know, like get high and listen. I went to Christian school for that. Which I do one of those two things pretty regularly, you know.
Right.
So like I totally feel that, but
yeah, oh man,
you know,
yeah. I mean, like I don't know, man. It's just they saw an opportunity, I guess, and they went for it. OC.
I don't get the logic for that. It's like, why would you choose to come to the US and choose to go to OC? You know, it's just like to do that. It's like, wouldn't you have just gone to a party college? Wouldn't that have been better for you?
Absolutely. Like we
like go to Florida State or something.
For the people that don't know, at OC there are no fraternities or sororities officially.
There are clubs is what they're called. They're called clubs.
But you know, I mean,
yeah,
it's a small college. You know, like it's not the the big 20,000+ people college with a whole bunch of, you know, where the fraternities and sororities have their own dorm. You know, that's officially their dorm and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Just
yeah, definitely. OC life was really interesting.
Yeah.
Are you ready to wrap this episode up?
Oh, for sure, man. It was good to remember those good old times, man. Reminisce.
OC days.
Reminisce.
Making. Yeah. All right. Well, for everyone that listens to this podcast, our social media handle is at Broklahomies Podcast on Instagram, at BROKLAHOMIES Podcast. And we're also on Facebook. We're on every streaming platform for podcasts, including YouTube. So check us out. Also, we have a couple of cool projects, little quarantine projects that we're working on right now for you guys. So keep in tune for that. We're trying to get some really cool things built that I think you guys would potentially enjoy. So keep a lookout for that. And Danny, what else?
Space Ranger.
Space Ranger. All right. And with that, we depart. Bye, guys.